Hey everybody, welcome to the MindMesh podcast. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you. This is a podcast all about those rabbit holes,
Those like shower thoughts?
those shower thoughts, those internet deep dives that you find late at night. That when you
Those
revisit
weird-
them, rethink of them, they're like, you know what? That's probably not the best idea in the world. And I'm joined by my ever so lovely. Might need a haircut, might not need a haircut. You can't see him, you can't tell. Fisher, yeah.
Studio audience clap.
Studio audience clap. Eh?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Hopefully you
No,
add
I'm
it in
not.
post. Okay, it's just silence.
No,
Cool.
it's just silence. That's
All
how this
right.
works.
I'll
I'll be honest of the night. We don't have any topics.
I'll be honest here too. This was my idea. I thought it would be a good idea to just shoot the shit for this one. Not really kind of going blind.
We are here to tell you the nitty gritty. We're here to go into a deep dive into our psyche to really think about just some really weird random things. You know, I thought about how reading a book is basically staring at dead trees and hallucinating.
Could be, in a way.
You say it could be, but
Not
tell
really
me,
hallucinating. You're just like picturing images in your head.
which is
It's not hallucinating. Hallucinating is seeing things in the real life that aren't really there.
imagining things. It's literally that's like having
okay.
an imaginary
with your
friend.
workaround, I guess it works.
Imaginary friends, you know, all that nonsense. Imagination. You saw that one SpongeBob gif where he like produces a rainbow out of thin air. That was imagination.
Look, man.
What?
You know I've been playing a lot of Red Dead with the guys.
I don't know what that is.
Red Dead Redemption?
What's that?
God damn it.
I don't.
Cowboy Simulator 2.0.
Oh, that video game on the Xbone.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been playing that a lot with the guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, the conversation often comes up of, oh my God, it would be so cool to be a cowboy. Blah,
No.
blah, blah. Like,
I refuse that statement.
I mean, the idea of like, I guess like the Hollywood cowboy or like Arthur Morgan or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
No.
But
I'm refusing this statement from the very get-go.
no, let me finish but think of the time period, bro.
I am. That's why I'm saying no.
That's exactly. That's my
What do you
point.
mean exactly?
That's the point I was making though. Like, as cool as it might seem to be a cowboy, it would fucking suck.
Oh yeah, no.
Fucking
You would literally if you had zero memory of modern day and just became a cowboy, like if you got shot into the past and became Arthur Morgan in the past, but you remembered everything from modern day, you would be like, "Oh shit, we don't have working toilets." Oh shit, the only way to communicate with people is through fucking Morse code on an electrical tap.
like.
Like if you had no memory going back, sure, whatever,
if
you're a
you-
fucking cowboy. But if you have any
If you broke your
ideologies of the modern
fucking
time,
arm, you could die from gangrene because it would just get infected.
it would literally be like, oh man, it'd
Like
be
modern medicine is the main thing.
cool. Yeah, no, it'd be like, oh, it'd be cool to be a cowboy. Yeah, it'd be cool to fucking ride around in assless chaps with a cowboy hat on, shooting rabbits and wolves in the desert. But guess what? As soon as you fucking land on a cactus and get infection and then die, sure is fucking cool to be a cowboy, ain't it?
Like the idea of like, I guess living on your own, like trying to hunt shit. That's the food you
yeah,
eat.
but you can
like
do that in modern times, and you
That's
can do it
true.
in relaxation. People fucking put recliners in their deer stands. Like, you can, yeah, no, actually, I take it back. Being a modern cowboy,
A modern cowboy.
it's called a redneck. That is a
I think I'll start being a redneck now.
Bro, all you gotta do is like cover your face in sunscreen, but not your neck, and just go outside. That's all you gotta do.
Literal redneck.
Let's start. Yeah, no, that needs to be a trend. We got rednecks. Let's become the literal rednecks. We can call ourselves the LRs. That's what we are.
LRs. LRNs.
We're the LRNs. What are you? Huh? You stand below us. That's what you are.
Ridiculous. So
What? What's up?
keep talking about. I'm just talking about video games.
Yeah, you're
I've
just gonna,
played
yeah.
recently.
It's like earlier episodes of the podcast where I talked about was food because I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, no, I'm
See,
just.
this is why we plan stuff. This is why we come in with an itinerary. Because we're not
You
smart
never-
enough
you
to think
never
of
were-
stuff off the head.
You were never into like the Call of Duty series at all, were you?
No. I think I
Well-
talked about this in our video game episode. I was never into multiplayer or first person shooters. I was always like, or open world. I was always the straight and narrow. I wanted a good linear tale.
Like the
And
first
Call of Duty was like, the story was made secondary to the multiplayer. So it was always like, oh, the Call of Duty games are so good story wise. I'm
Yeah.
like, have you
No,
ever
I get-
played a story based video game before? Or
No, I get what you're
you
saying.
just like
completely.
shooting guns at imaginary people?
I think Black Ops was like the first rated M game that I got. I may have mentioned that before. Yeah, I didn't get a rated M game until pretty late in my life. Until like 2010.
I'm trying to think. The first video games I owned were T for teen. I mean, when I say the first video games, I'm talking like I was like 8.
I get you.
And I got Shark Tale, which was T for teen somehow. Fantastic Four, based off the
Well, what
original.
was the first rated M game that you played?
That's what I'm trying to think of right now. And that's why I was making that list so I could think in the back of my head leading
like-
up to it. If you would give me time to think, dude. So no, I had Shark Tale, which was rated T for teen. I had the original Fantastic Four with Chris Evans. I had that on GameCube. Never made it past the first level. Was not smart enough to do it. And then
That's how I felt about Revenge of the Sith.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game I owned was T for teen. I think the first rate was Uncharted rated M.
I might be. Let me look.
Because the first games I got on my place or on my PS3 was Uncharted and Infamous. And I think Infamous was rated T, but I can't remember if Uncharted was rated M or not. Or maybe did I get my PC before I got my
It's rated
PS3?
T.
Oh, it is rated T? Yeah, no, I can't remember. No, I definitely got my PS3 before I got my PC.
So would it be like Last of Us?
No. It was probably Mortal Kombat,
Oh, okay.
which is weird because I wasn't in the fighting games. I don't remember how I got Mortal Kombat. No, I got Mortal Kombat versus DC, and that was rated teen. And then I got Mortal Kombat 9, which I'm pretty sure was rated M. But no, I think the very first like mature game I remember actually getting was probably BioShock.
Oh, I do remember playing BioShock 2. That was the early one I played.
Yeah, no, I can't remember the first M-rated game because like I grew up in a household that really didn't care about the rating system.
Yeah, my mom was kind of iffy on it, so that's why she waited.
Yeah, no, because I mean I grew up watching horror movies. I grew up watching Child's Play, Jaws, fucking
Around
Freddy
the time I
Krueger.
started getting into horror movies is the time she started letting me watch rated M
See, I
play
got-
rated M games.
I got into horror movies really young. I don't remember how I managed to get a hold of them because we did not
Like
have
how young would you say?
probably like I don't remember how young I was. I remember the first time I watched Child's Play, I became deathly afraid that this little wind-up rabbit that I got for Easter would come alive and kill me with its little fucking like zipper feet that I had going on. And if I was that young to get a fucking wind-up rabbit, I would presume I was between the ages of 8 and 10 when I started watching like R-rated horror flicks.
Let me think. I think it was Silent Hill was one of the first horror movies I watched.
I think are there more now? Are there more than one than Silent Hill? Or
There are two.
There are two. There are two. Okay, I think I've only seen the first one
I have two. I've only seen the first one
because
but
I solely remember the scene with the nurse
I remember
or
going
the nurses.
that convention I always talk about. It was the first. I've been going to it for 10 years, and the first year I went there, I was I think like 10 or 11, something like that, and I saw Pyramid Head there before I'd even seen the movie.
Yeah,
And then I remember vaguely wanting to get into scary stuff, but like not really knowing what to get into, and then going through the $5 bin at Walmart and like picking up a copy of Silent Hill and seeing Pyramid Head on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's where this guy is from. I guess I'll watch it." And I remember watching that, and it I'll be honest, it freaked me the hell out as a kid.
I think honestly, the only memory I have of horror movies as a kid was literally watching Child's Play and then thinking, "Oh, what if my toys came alive?"
Yeah.
But besides that, horror movies have never really been a thing that scared me. In all honesty,
Silent Hill was, and then I really got into like Nightmare on Elm Street, and that did not scare me at all. But I love the movies.
I mean, well, it was one of those things where like I had the simple kid reactions to horror movies. It was like, oh, if something scared me, like pull the covers or pull a blanket or pillow above my eyes. Oh, it
Yeah.
can't see me. But I was never really like truthfully like afraid of it. It for me. The only thing that ever scared me in horror movies was the jump scares, and those are such cheap scares. I hate
Well,
those.
yeah, it's just
I
like
hate those in movies. I hate those in video games. Hate them in any form of entertainment media. If you have a jump scare, that's what I call laziness. If you can't make me scared just based off of what story you're telling, and you have to be like, oh, there's a random fucking like thing being thrown at your screen, a random creature popping out from the corner. Like if you have to lean on that as a movie creator,
sorry.
or just as an entertainment creator, I just find it cheap.
I agree.
I mean,
with that.
some things like landed perfectly on the nose of like what a jump scare should be, the Five Nights at Freddy's games and stuff like that.
I think like when jump scares are used correctly, like ineffectively, it works. Like if they only use like once or twice in a movie for like a big scare, yeah, I get that. But when it's like a movie like I think of the Insidious movies a lot when I just think of like jump scares galore.
Yeah, I was about to
And-
say when you were talking about one or two, I was thinking the early Paranormal Activity films.
Oh, yeah.
They were almost masters
the
at
first one
drawing it out until the necessary moment to do a jump scare.
exactly.
It wasn't just throwing it at you every 5 seconds. And then Paranormal Activity 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think there's a seventh one.
I can't remember how many they ended up with.
I'm pretty sure there's 6 now that I think about it. Because I remember distinctly Paranormal Activity 5 was called like the Unmarked Ones. And then I'm pretty sure there was like one more after that called like the Dark Zone or whatever their like demon world was called.
They got too convoluted in their lore.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. No, they literally wrote it. They're like, wait, this makes no fucking sense. I guess we need to make 6 movies explaining it. And then they made 6 movies.
They
and
could have just left it ambiguous,
God, this
though.
makes no fucking sense. They wanted to give a backstory to a fucking demon.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They could have left it ambiguous. It's just a horror movie with a demon.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I love Paranormal Activity 1 and 2 because Paranormal Activity 2 it was new for its time. Then Paranormal Activity 1 was new for its time.
Yeah.
Then Paranormal Activity 2 happened, and yes, it was a lesser film than Paranormal Activity 1. But what I loved is that it literally was a prequel film without telling you it was a prequel film.
Yeah.
Like you did not know that it set up the previous film until it was over and everyone loved it. So then you're like, oh, Paranormal Activity 3 also is a prequel. 4 is a prequel to 3. 5 is a prequel to 4 and 3. And then 6 is a prequel to 5, 4, 3.
I liked 3 up until like the end where it got again where they started adding all the lore. I like the idea.
Was 3 the one where they first introduced the main character as a kid?
Yeah, it was the one that was like back in time a bit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like a few decades. Because they did some cool stuff like with the camera. They like the dad put the camera on the fan, so that's why the camera was moving.
That's what I'm saying about paranormal, like literally the paranormal activity series.
Was the second one the one with like the Connect, where they had the?
No, that was yes, that was 2. Yeah, I believe that was 2. No, every single Paranormal Activity movie has been an innovation when it comes to like finding creative ways to make a stagnant camera lively.
Yeah.
They did it with 2 with the Connect with all the dots moving. They did it with 3 with the fan.
I can't remember anything.
In 1 it was all stagnant. I mean,
it worked to its advantage.
Yeah, no. I don't, and I have not seen 4, 5, and 6 enough to even tell you. Because once those 3 happened, I was just like, why? I mean, yeah, sure, let's add a cult element to it. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's just add all the dark arts. Witchcraft,
let's do it.
Sure. Mexico, yeah, let's go for it. It was Paranormal Activity was a very odd series for me.
I think it's kind of the same with most horror series. The first
Oh
one
yeah,
or
the
two
first
are
one's
really
like
good.
wholly original, and then they're like, let's make 16 more, and then you get the Nightmare on Elm Street series,
Or like the Saw series.
or the Jason series, or the Jaws
Jason,
series, or the Saw series. Well, you
Child's
just said
Play.
Saw. Child's Play is a weird.
Well, they had Child's Play 1, 2,
The
and
Bride of Chucky.
the kid of Chucky or the child of
Yeah, the
Chucky.
Child of Chucky. Which, why I'm saying Child's Play is a bit of a weird one for me is that like with Friday the
Hellraiser's another
13th,
one.
with Friday the 13th and like Nightmare on Elm Street and Jaws, like all the consecutive movies followed the same strategy.
Yeah.
Whereas with Child's Play and Chucky, after the first one, every single movie it felt like a completely different film.
Just with Chucky in it.
Yeah, Chucky was just in the film. Like after the first Child's Play, I felt like Chucky was just a character that they just decided to be like, oh, this film sounds like a fucked up time. Let's put Chucky in it. Oh, but wait, what about the main murderer? That is Chucky now. Wait, so we made our main murderer a doll? Yeah, and he's gonna have a bride.
And now he's gonna have a kid.
And now he's gonna have a kid.
Because the two dolls fucked.
Yeah. Did you? You never saw the new Child's Play, did you? With Mark Hamill?
No.
I have it.
Okay.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You want
A little movie talk?
A little movie talk. Want to watch Mark Hamill be a little doll?
I
Be
mean,
a good time.
I mean, we could do a whole
Reboot month.
horror reboot month for Halloween.
I mean, well, are there enough?
I mean, there's the
Friday the 13th.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Did Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yep, in 2009.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, those came out like similar years.
Yeah, because I think they were actually trying to do
because they were doing Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, they were trying to do that, and then they both flopped.
And then any of the Halloween reboots.
It.
Oh yeah, it.
See, I don't count Halloween reboots as reboots just because they still tie into the originals somehow.
Well, a lot of them do start the story over and try to tell it again.
Yeah, but with Halloween, they still have like the actors.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, no, like Child's Play, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, fucking It, The Thing, the 2011 Thing. Praise God, rest its soul.
Oh God, what's another one? Suspiria.
Like you could just throw a name in a fucking hat and it'd be a reboot to a movie. In all honesty, nowadays, I mean that's just how it kind of goes now.
Look it up. Horror movie reboots.
Yeah, it's literally gonna be like, how far back do you want to go? They starting to. Well, you could also be like every werewolf movie or vampire movie or Frankenstein. Or anything like that.
We already watched one, the Evil Dead.
Well, yeah, Evil Dead. So I mean, literally any movie, any horror movie is technically a remake of an old horror movie. It doesn't even have to have the same title, because like most of them are based off the same like mythology, the same.
Dawn of the Dead, 2004. That's actually a good movie. It's when they're in the mall.
Oh yeah.
I really like. I like it at least.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, the 2013 Carrie.
Yeah. That was not as good.
Um,
I'm just thinking of all the Stephen King fucking movies that are just random. I think they actually just announced that they're remaking Cujo or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. Which I mean, I'm not opposed to it. All I can think of is the random BTS footage or behind the scenes footage for all you
the 1979 Nosferatu.
Oh yeah, I'll finish that I'll finish something up about Nosferatu here in a second. But what was I saying? God, what was I saying? Oh no, what was I saying?
I can't remember.
Yeah, because you were looking at that list, I know, but I'm trying to think of what the fuck I was saying. Oh God. Oh, you got me all kinds of fucked up.
Oh no. Pull it from your brain. I see you straining.
Nope, I got nothing. It's gonna bug me. I'm literally getting a migraine right now because I can't think of it. No, but with Nosferatu, they actually tried to do a Kickstarter thing to
do another one.
No, not to do another one, and not to reboot it, to remake it.
Oh, kind of like what they did with like World War I footage, and like and remaster the footage almost.
Kind kinda. They were going to take all the backgrounds and use them as like matte paintings, but reshoot all the actor parts.
Interesting.
So they got the dude who was the fucking eye goblin thing in Pan's Labyrinth, whatever, Mr. Hands with eyes. I don't know his name.
I know he's like a famous actor for
I
like
forget
horror
his name.
movies.
The guy who was like the fucking amphibian in Hellboy. He's basically every creature in every movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He was hooked on to be Nosferatu for a while. And yeah, no, they were literally planning on remaking the film instead of rebooting it. They were going to keep as much of the original as possible by taking like frames and images of the movie itself and recompiling them to make high resolution backgrounds.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then basically reshoot all the actor scenes to remake the movie. I don't know whatever happened to that. I don't know if it ever got completed. It was a successful campaign.
I remember before like the actual Slender movie came out, there were so many Kickstarter campaigns for like Slender Man movies.
Oh yeah, no, everyone's just like, well, especially when there are so many times where I like have an idea and then something like happens soon after that I'm just like, damn, I was too slow. So
yeah.
No, it doesn't surprise me that when someone has an idea, they instantly go to Indiegogo, go to Kickstarter, and try to like profit off of it because a lot of times you see the exact same Kickstarter happen over and over and over because it was a good, easeable idea.
No, I get that. I just think it's funny to see all these like creepypasta movies
like
try and get made.
Just
and
an
then
example,
one kind of comes through the floodgates and it was awful.
I remember back in high school, I was a big tech geek in high school, and it was around the time that smartwatches were first becoming a thing.
Yeah.
So I had just simple like notebook paper, and I was like seeing all I think the Apple Watch had just come out. Yeah, or like the first
that was the first big one.
Yeah.
Is the first
and they
Apple
had that
Watch,
square design, and then every watch went with that square design, like be it Android, Apple, whatever. And I was just like, damn. I was like, why can't we have a circular smartwatch?
Why can't we just have an Omnitrix?
That's not where I'm going, but I get where you're going. And I have stories about that too. But
did you also build schematics for an Omnitrix?
No, but I'll get to it. Stop trying to distract me while I'm trying to finish fucking story. I had notebook paper, and I literally drew out like design schematics
for a circular
smartwatch and how the UI would work, how it would interact and stuff like that. And lo and behold, literally, I think it was the next day, the Motorola Moto 360, which was the first like round smartwatch, was released. And I swear to God, if it was not the exact same thing,
like
I drew.
UI and stuff like
UI
that.
and everything. How like you literally interacted with like the side knobs and buttons and stuff like that, and how like the circular screen would like be an actual thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, literally the next day. And I showed my friends the drawing, and I showed them the article, and they were like, what, you drew that fucking watch? I'm like, I drew it yesterday before it was announced. And they were like, well, we don't believe you. And I was like, well, damn. But going on to the Ben 10 thing, literally in my hometown, there's like a weird off-shooting road on my street.
Was there a meteor that crashed and you walked up to it? And
no, it was just a random ass RV that looked exactly like the Rust Bucket. So like as a kid, I always thought it was fucking Ben Tennyson and his grandpa on a road trip, and they just didn't want to leave the site.
They're too busy fighting an alien.
Yeah, that was my other concern. I was like, shit, there's an alien invasion here. I gotta be safe. I gotta be smart.
What's the group that his grandfather's on?
The plumbers?
Yeah, you gotta be able to join.
Well,
the
that
plumbers.
was also the weird part, is that we like have a major plumbing like store like in our town.
Oh,
like it's like one of our biggest like.
Is the plumbing story? What if your dad was a plumber?
Well, kind of he was.
Well, I mean, not that kind of plumber.
Oh no, I don't know.
The Ben 10 plumber.
He went to the plumbing store all the time though, so who knows? Maybe he is a secret agent. We know.
He's a secret agent.
Oh.
I've seen the way he dances. That has nothing to do with him being a secret agent.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was trying to think. I was trying to think of what dance move would relate to being a secret agent.
I don't know. I
but
kind of thought like James Bond and being super smooth.
he's not though. Have you seen the man? He just does the chicken dance. That's all he knows.
I saw him. Oh, what was it? What was it when I shot your sister's wedding? The mannequin pose. I saw
That's
him,
not moving.
and
That's
then he started dancing. Yeah, when the
he
music
was
kicked
fucking
in.
doing the chicken. That's all he knows. God, why you gotta do stuff like this? I'm going to an ad break. Look, Fish, I need to know something. I need to know. Have you
What?
heard?
Yeah,
You have?
I
Are
maybe,
you sure?
possibly. You can tell me though.
Have you heard of Anchor?
Like the thing that's on like boats.
No. Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. I'll let you explain. You said you knew about it.
Oh yeah. I remember now.
Okay.
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah, there's
Like
free-
absolutely free, no charge.
no charge.
Uh-huh.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer
Wait, phone? You can just pull out your phone
and edit your podcast right from it and
That's
record it.
wild. That's absolutely wild. What else does it do?
Well, you can distribute your podcast, or Anchor will distribute your podcast for you.
Where?
So it can be heard on Spotify,
Spotify?
Apple Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts?
and anywhere else. Many more.
Wait, so like Google Podcasts and all of those, you can hear it using
yeah.
Anchor? Oh my, really? What else do they do?
You can make money from your own podcast with no minimum listenership.
No minimum listenership? Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
man.
You can just make money from making a podcast? I
Yeah,
didn't know
man.
you could do that.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Wait, so you're telling me that if our listeners want to make a podcast, all they have to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started and make their own podcast?
Yes, that's all they have to do is
That's all they have to
download
do?
the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
That's absolutely wild. What a great steal.
What a great steal.
Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to the MindMesh podcast. I hope you enjoyed that lovely ad break. If you heard an ad, if you didn't hear an ad, I still don't know if those work or not.
I'm really hoping they do.
We're like-
Because we kind of just
We're 21, 22 episodes in, and
we haven't gone back and looked at it.
we're going back and be like, wait, do our ads actually work?
Maybe not.
It works on YouTube. I know that for certain because I put them in manually. Whereas when we distribute to all the other podcast platforms, we drag and drop and just hope that it distributes the audio correctly. I don't know how it works. I don't.
Look, man. I'll look. We'll
I don't
find
know.
it out right now.
No, we're not listening to our fucking podcast
On
our
the podcast?
No, don't you dare play. Do not play it. Do not. No, I don't want to hear it. Stop. I see you on. No. Fisher, don't make me use your middle name. Oh my God, you're literally listening to our podcast on.
I'm trying to see if our ad break works.
Just go like 20 minutes in. That's where it always is. Oh my goodness.
I'm right
Hey
there.
guys, what's up? Today while he's off doing his own thing.
I'm here.
I mean, I
listening.
know you're here, but you're too focused on something else. You
I
can't
know, I'm-
multitask. I've
I
met you.
can.
You couldn't even listen to me when you were looking at horror movie remakes. I don't need that.
It didn't pick up anyways. It's okay.
You say that, but you don't know my life. But yeah, no. So I'm here to tell you that sometimes life comes at you fast.
What'd you say?
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought, huh? Life comes at you fast. So as many. Oh, dude, we got to go deep. Let's go deep.
Let's go deep.
You want to go deep? Okay, let's go
How
deep.
deep are you wanting to go? I don't know what you mean.
So, as many of you know, or as little of you know, me and Fish go to a film school.
So you are okay. Let's buckle down and talk about
buckle
this.
down. Let's get deep.
So yeah,
So we go to a very tight knit community art school.
We
that
say tight.
covers everything from graphic design to photography, to illustration, anything fine art, to interior design,
and
to
film.
and film. That's what we're in. And by tight-knit community, we mean like we could probably text and go hang out at our teachers' homes because that's how like close everyone is at the school.
To give you context, we have such a small, like,
Our school is an old movie theater that was converted into a school, and if
that's
you can
the
think,
only building.
yeah, that's the only building. So if you can think about the populace that could fit and comfortably be inside a movie
I
theater,
believe we have less than 200 students.
we have less than that. That's
Yeah.
how small our school is. It's a tight private school, and recently, due to circumstances somewhat beyond our control.
I mean,
like,
it's
I feel-
completely beyond our control.
Well, no, I'm saying that what led up to this was somewhat beyond our control because we honestly probably could have contributed to fix it. It's just the fact that no one ever told us, like that we needed to or that we should help in some way.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were never advised to do anything about the situation.
Well, we didn't know about the situation up to literally a few days ago.
Yeah, or the weeks
Or a
ago
week-
when
or a week ago.
random stuff started leaking. Or well, really, we kind of learned about it a year ago when our friend who worked here or
Kinda
like
mentioned-
had a part-time student job here kind of mentioned that they were like, oh yeah, we overheard this situation, yada yada yada.
Which we're beating around the bush.
Yeah, really beating around the bush here. Our school is closing.
Yeah, our school is closing and being absolved by another school.
Yeah, we are being absorbed, being merged. Now, like just to notate this, for me and Fish, it doesn't really affect us.
We're about to graduate.
We're about to graduate. So for us, think of the school as the Titanic. It's currently split in half. It's halfway into the water.
And
And
we're
me
on the
and
raft.
Fish made it to the lifeboats. We kicked all the mothers and children off the lifeboats, and
It's
now
just
we're
us.
on them. It's just us.
It's just us and whatever seniors are going to graduate this semester.
Yeah. So the rest of them are basically getting sucked into another Titanic, except it didn't hit the iceberg.
It's also just the fact that we're a very liberal college.
Yeah. No.
Very
yeah.
that'd be the best way to put it. Very liberal college, not in maybe politics, but just in
In general, we're very open.
Yeah.
I forget the term for it. Is it secular? I don't remember. It's basically like not following any form of belief, not following any form of agenda. Basically, anyone that comes here
like
can be as open and or closed-minded as they want.
you can make whatever you want. You can
You can do whatever you want. It's literally, it's an art school. They're like, oh, you want to paint the walls? You want to make something literally out of demolishing something? Sure, why not? As long as you fix it later, we want to see what you can do because maybe you can make a career out of it. That's literally the mentality of the school.
like we've been a part of. I think we've been a part of films where they've literally said that no, you can paint our entire soundstage as long as you paint it back.
Yeah, no, it's literally one of those things where the school was so small and so tight knit that we had kind of the freedom to do as we please to grow in a creative space. I mean, it's kind of the whole reason that we started making
Our content.
yeah, the content that we make, be it our old YouTube videos, be it the current podcast that we do now, be it the films that we make. The reason that we like started that stuff is just because we wanted an outlet for our creative minds to roam.
Exactly. And like the problem with this merger, I guess, is the fact that we're losing
Well,
this
not us.
well, not us, but
Let's go back and just say that our main problem isn't per se. It's the people that are below us, the friends that we have made that aren't graduating, that are being
and the faculty as well.
yeah, and the faculty that are either getting stuck or completely left out of this merger.
Yeah, exactly. Either being forced to go to this university or to be either kicked out or fired.
Yeah, so it's a really terrible situation. I mean, this school has been open since I think
It's 130 something years.
I think it's 143 years. I think that's the total count. I think it was 1885 when it was first established. I don't think it was an art school in 1885, but it's been a long boy time.
It was an art school. I mean, it's always been an art school up until
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
no.
then the 90s they added the
So
film school.
it was always a renowned like cheap art school because I mean it was
or is it really one of the few accredited art schools around?
well, I mean accreditation like can be hit or miss sometimes, but like the main thing that everyone the school that we went to, like their mentality was that this was an art school for everyone. This was not an art school that you had to pay exorbitant amounts to go to gain a degree. This was the art school for the everyman.
Exactly.
And basically, the everyman didn't pay enough.
Yeah, we ran out of funding.
Yeah, we were bleeding cash. Nothing behind the scenes got changed to fix it, and
no one
finally,
let us know.
Yeah, the
or
hand
let the
was
faculty know.
hand was finally forced, and basically it was just like a hey, most of our faculty, if not 100% of our faculty, have the opportunity to maybe get a job, but more than likely are being laid off in about 5 months after summer break for school. For the most part, the graduating seniors are basically going to be our last graduating class before the name completely changes. And everyone else is kind of up shit creek because at this point, the answers that are being given out about what's going to happen, what will happen, and what can be expected is maybes.
Or maybes, and then
empty promises.
Yeah, empty
basically.
promises. Empty promises.
That's the plural of promise. Promises. But no, so it's one of those we're kind of in a weird like limbo-esque state
where it's like we're in this school. We know we're gonna be finishing, but as soon as we're gone, the school's gone too.
Yeah, no. So for us, it's kind of it's kind of a culture shock in a weird way.
Because when you really think about it, us, like imagine like what our friends like. I mean, he's been on the podcast and movie talks. Our friend Kenny.
Yeah, he has no clue what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
he has no clue what he's gonna do because he's below us year wise. So he has school that he has to continue to go to, but he does not know if he wants to go through with this merger and like conform.
Without like name dropping schools or anything like that, it's just, like the school that we're being merged with is a very, very conservative school that does kind of limit what you can and can't.
Well, I don't know if we can say conservative. It's more of a school based on religious.
Well, it's a
beliefs.
Religious school, and I say conservative in like creative expression.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like
maybe not in like political.
Yeah,
beliefs.
politically, I don't think they're very conservative, just based off of the topic at hand.
No.
Like they teach in just their student base. Like I mean, we know a lot of students that go to this school, so we know the mentality a lot of the students have and stuff like that. So it's not like a closed-minded school, but it's one of the schools where if you have different beliefs from the school, you can't talk up about it. You can't shout about it. You can't go against it.
And you can't going back to like the art part of it.
You have to shut up and nut up. You have to fly under the radar.
Yeah. And like I said, going back to the art part of it, it's just, it hinders what you can create, what you want to make.
Yeah, no.
Like a few of the movies that we've worked on and our friends have made, like those movies couldn't have been made at that school.
They were like telling us that in the past 2 years, their theater program actually had to move their plays off campus
because of the language or
content that the school did not agree with due to just the mentality of like the board members and the faculty. And it's just like, it's one of those things is what happens when you throw such a tight-knit community that's so open and free when it comes to their creations. What happens once you put them under rule?
I feel like they're either going to rebel or like...
Yeah, no, that's what I'm like. I'm thinking like Party X.
I'm not thinking Party X. I just know that they're not going to fucking stand for not... Like, these students here probably will not stand for like any form of censorship.
Yeah, no, we literally had like a town hall meeting where like students were standing up with fucking poster boards, like giving presentations, like what, like it was like the classic teacher with the long pointer stick, like slapping it on the whiteboard, being like rule 1, rule 2, rule 3. Like literally, we had student upon student getting up, like.
With lists of like concerns.
Lists of concerns and demands that they want during this process because, I mean, in all honesty, it's unfair to the faculty, the staff, the student body itself that this is happening just due to the negligence that happened from the people running the school.
And I mean, there are people at this school that have come from the school that we're merging with, and they left because they didn't like that school, and now they're being forced to
to
go back
to
to
the
it.
school. And then when like all these empty promises and like maybes were being held, literally those students stood up and be like, well, what about me? And then they told their situation, and they were just like, oh, I didn't know about your situation. And they were like, no, you were the first person that I emailed, and you shoved me off to someone else.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's just a bad situation of combining a school with less than 200 students into a school with over what 8,000 students, 10,000 students,
Something like that.
So it's one of those things where you take such a tight knit community, and what happens when you just throw them at the wall at a dartboard that's 8 miles wide?
Like, it's just such a shitty situation, and it's hard to talk about it because we don't want to go into too much detail, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where like for us it doesn't affect us in a sense of like it
doesn't affect us personally, but it affects. Like,
it affects me personally. For me, it doesn't affect me like life wise.
That's what I meant by personally.
Oh, okay.
I mean personally, like it's not affecting our lives.
For me, at this point, my main concern is just protecting like what the school stood for.
Exactly.
And protecting those that are going to come after us.
No, I think that like those 2 points are I agree with completely, and the fact that like I want to know what's going to happen to our faculty, man. Like if there's any way that they're going to be able to get some sort of jobs, or if they're going to just be fucking laid off.
Yeah,
which,
no,
I mean that's probably going to be the sad truth.
That's kind of the way the arrow's pointing.
Yeah,
it's just kind of pointing to the door right now, being like, give it all you got these last 5 months. Sorry about your luck. Hope you do well.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, see you next time. I mean, never. There's no Christmas party this year. Yeah, it's just one of those weird situations where like life kind of comes at you fast, and it kind of really shows. Yeah, no, I don't know how to explain it, because it's one of those things where like, I mean, there's so much talk about discrepancies, there's so much talk about transparency, there's so much talk about, and I think one of our friends said this, and I really like this sentiment about going to college and just going to school, of always deeming college as a business.
Yeah.
Deem it as you are going to work. You are going to your job and you are working for a goal. So if the business is failing, or if the business does something that you as the consumer, as the worker, as the customer, does not like, it is your job to
stand up,
to change it, to do as much as you can to make sure that you are protected, the workers are protected, the customers are protected, so that way in the future you can have a nice, long, happy life.
Sad part about that is that we weren't given that opportunity.
Oh yeah, no. But here's a philosophy that I always like to follow. This is a philosophy that
you're trying to end on a happy note.
Yeah, end on a happy note type deal. This is something that I've always like kind of stood beside, always kind of accepted, is that when something ends, or here, let me word it this way. For me, there is never truly an ending. For me, whenever you end something, you are beginning something anew. So whenever something dies, something is born. Whenever something ends, something begins. So I like to think of this as an ending. This is the ending to our college culture. This is an ending to the tight-knit community that was bred from this school. That was literally why this school was created. But the thing that's going to be created next is going to be a completely different form. Is going to be a completely different faculty, probably completely different student base, but it will be something new.
And maybe there's some good that can come out of that. Because I know at least like with our film program, at least for like our friends that are at least camera oriented like I am, like a lot of the equipment that they have there is really good. And they, along with that, they're getting our equipment. So we're like one of our staff said, it's probably going to be one of the best damn equipment rooms in the town or in the state.
Yeah, no.
So, like,
well, for me, it's also for me, it's less about the school. It's less about the name. It's more about the people.
yeah,
So
no,
that's what I'm saying is dying. It's not the school. Obviously, the school's going to another school.
yeah,
They kept the name. They're just not keeping the building.
it's the culture that's
The
dying.
thing that's going to change is the culture and the people. And I mean, it's sad to see, but it's also one of those things where it has so much history. There are so many people that were a part of it that it's never really going to be forgotten.
And also the fact that, like, even though that they're not going to be under the same, well, they will be under the same name technically with the added name,
Yeah.
but they're still going to be the same artists. They're still going to make the same amazing shit that they made here. So we're still going to have good artists to come out of there. And that at least is like a good point, I think, to like
Yeah. But
to
anyways,
end on.
thank you so much. Look at what happens when you say shoot the shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We get all wholesome.
We get a nice wholesome episode. But thank you so much for joining us on the MindMesh podcast. Make sure to tune us back every Monday on your favorite podcast platforms or every Wednesday on our YouTube channel on MindMesh. I'm Chayton.
And I'm Fish, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Did you just kiss them?
Yeah, maybe.